At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to fit so.
Pop stars with auto-tune.
Yeah.
And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
Hey, this is Mike Evans. Listen to every episode of Schlereth and Evans on demand at 1043thefan.com. Presented by Siltahar Motors, the home of the zero down with Chapter 7 and 13 bankruptcies. Regardless of your financial standing, no one should be without a vehicle. Visit the special financing section at sthmotors.com.
1043 The Fan presents Schlereth and Evans.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The great Mark Schlereth.
That's right.
Yeah. I love, hey, Ben,
America's
I love you, man.
guest.
That's awesome. America's guest.
Right.
I'm all over the place. All over the place.
Was on the ESPN morning show before we come
Max
on.
Kellerman.
Yeah, Max Kellerman
is
now on with
hosting
Keyshawn and
Jay Will.
Yep.
Yep.
Sounded
Jay
good.
Will texted me right afterwards, said, hey, let's keep in touch, and anything you guys need on your station for basketball, let me know.
I
like Jay Will.
give your bosses at Fox, by the way, a lot of credit because a lot of people in our business would pitch a fit over that and would say, no way, you can't do that. You can't cross platforms like that.
Right. It's like crossing the streams when you're a kid. You don't cross the streams.
Never cross the streams.
No, everybody knows that. Now you can back up all the way to the back wall and see how far you can hit the urinal target, right?
Who hasn't done that?
All right. Well, when you're a kid, you have that kind of pressure.
What's going on?
You get to our age and you got to be on top of the toilet. Your belly has to be hanging in it, touching. It's just a dribble stream.
Oh, boy.
Back then, boy, I tell you what, you could launch. It was awesome.
Parabolic.
The Cousin Twins don't know.
Yeah. You'd be like, I'll pee across the driveway. You want to bet?
Please stop.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What are we talking about?
No, what are we saying?
I want to dedicate it. Everybody.
All right, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to stick this one. I'm going to stick it. Here it comes.
New York, London, Paris, Munich, everybody pop music.
In fact, yesterday we got a request. Guys, can you play the, what are we talking about? And we didn't do it yesterday.
We didn't do it
We were
yesterday.
so on our game yesterday.
Oh, I mean, so dialed in. Laser focus. What were we talking about?
Talk about it. I want to dedicate it.
I seriously forgot that time. Yeah. Wait a minute. New York, London, Paris, Munich, pop music.
All right,
It must not have been that important.
No, I don't think so. Why don't we just jump right back into it? Tell Me Why I'm Wrong Wednesday, where you get a chance to get Mark to admit you're not wrong. That's skim milk or whole milk. That isn't skim milk.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it that often.
No.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Let's try this one. With the impending trading for Aaron Rodgers, the potential of this roster, a year under steady Teddy, and Peyton's commitment to adding depth, it can do nothing but prep us for a playoff run next year. Relax. Tell me why I'm wrong. Hashtag kicking back on I Told You So Island.
Well, here's why you're wrong. Because the Aaron Rodgers thing may not happen.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Beep up. Beep, 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 beep. Back up. You said it's going to happen. You can't wait for the day in which you get to climb up to the top of Mount Pappas and tell everybody, I told you so. Now you're saying you're not sure it's going to happen?
I believe it's going to happen.
Well, you just said it might not happen.
Of course it may not happen.
But you said it's going to happen.
I hope it happens.
No, you said it's going to happen.
I believe it's going to happen.
You said it's going to happen.
Hey, listen, there's always a with these things, there's always a caveat.
I've tried to defend you for that famous night, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This is the kind of stuff that,
Mike,
weakens my resolve.
Mike. You believe it's going to happen?
Because you believe it's going to happen.
If I jump off a bridge, are you jumping off a bridge?
No, but in this case, I have followed this story. I've been part of this story since I was the one that encouraged you to go with it.
Yeah, because I'm not a newsbreaker.
I got you in all this trouble.
Yeah, you know what? You did.
I did kind of get you in this trouble.
Goad me into it because you know I'm not a news. I don't care about the news.
You shared with me what you knew, and I felt that your source was impeccable.
And you saw the conversation I had with Aaron.
Yeah, so I said go with it, man. So I believe you.
Yeah, I believe too. Here's the thing.
And now you're saying if it happens.
Well, here's the thing I don't trust. You want to know what I don't trust and why there will always be a caveat? It could fall through. I believe it's going to happen. I believe he wants out. I believe all those things. You know why there's a caveat? Because you moved up to draft a quarterback in the first round, and guess what? Sometimes those guys can't play.
Relax.
As much as you'd like to have that guy become your guy, the one thing Jordan Love has proved to this point is they don't trust him. They didn't even dress him last year. Was he the 24th overall pick?
Well, unless something happens to Rodgers this year, they're not going to get any chance to see whether or not he can be the guy of the future next year either.
Right.
So how's that change?
You're just, because you're on hope. You know, you're hoping that this whole offseason without Aaron Rodgers, without him being there, that he improved, that he gets it. But, you know, some of the people that I talk to that are around that franchise have serious questions about whether that guy can actually play. That's all. Now, listen, man, maybe the light goes on. But do you know how many times I've heard we're just waiting for that eureka moment? We're just waiting for the light to go on. We're just waiting for that guy to get football. And sometimes the only thing that guy gets is Madden. Like Paxton Lynch. Come on, we've already started.
We did it, 4 or 5 times yesterday?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to turn down an easy completion.
Right. But the bottom line is they may get to the end of the season and just be petrified about moving on. And so, you know, you just got to look at how things pan out. But I know Aaron wants to be here. And I will say this for the texter. You're partially right. Because what George Payton has done, like the movement of this roster after the final 53 was set, the trades where you go out and get another running back, you go out and get a DB to play special teams, you go out and get a linebacker. 3 different players that have special team talent that you basically said, hey guys, like Royce Freeman, we've been saying it for years. You can't be the third running back and not play special teams, which they kept here because he was their guy from a third rounder. And you look at that and you go, you can't be the third team running back and not play special teams. So, I will give George Payton and this organization a bunch of credit for saying we have to be better. And I'll tell you the other thing. When you're playing the Giants this year or this weekend coming up, that's another thing that could cost you a game is that phase because you haven't been very good.
I'm still stunned, honestly. This is earth-shattering stuff that you've gone from it will happen to I hope it happens, and because of that, because I'm the ultimate arbiter here.
Relax.
That text wins.
No,
that text, you're not wrong.
It does not.
Well,
no, you can't.
Because you got Mark to admit that
you can't.
He's not.
I was ruined.
No,
you can't.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
No, there's two
rocked.
things. There's
I'm
two
rocked,
things.
I'm rattled right now.
No, there's 2 things that don't add up there. One, there's always that caveat, like on draft night, where it's not going to pan out. So there will always be a caveat.
You've never issued that caveat all summer long.
I issued it that night. It could fall through.
That night.
That stands.
That night
that
you said
stands.
that.
You don't
night
have to
you
say
said
it
that.
every time.
But all summer long you said, okay, it didn't work out that night, but don't worry. Don't worry.
I can't
don't
wait
worry.
for it to work out.
Right. He'll be here. Now you're saying, well, I hope he ends up here. The major deviation, man.
No, it's not a major deviation.
Texter, congratulations.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
No, Texter.
Congratulations.
Texter, do not go to work today with your chest puffed out like a peacock.
And I think we got another one.
Don't go
on
feather.
Deck. I think we got another one on deck.
Don't go all feather on me.
Another one on deck.
What do you call it when the peacock throws his feathers out?
Full flower?
Is it full flower?
I don't know.
Full bloom?
Full bloom?
You're blooming? Don't go blooming in the office today. Just keep your head down, go to work.
All right. More Tell Me Why I'm Wrong's next.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Siltahar Motors is the home of Zero Down. Regardless of your credit or financial situation, Siltahar Motors will help you get behind the wheel. People with poor credit or in bankruptcy can qualify for Zero Down and no payments for 45 days and be driving in their new car within hours of stopping by the dealership. Check out any of the cars Siltahar Motors currently has on site at sthmotors.com. Siltahar Motors is conveniently located at Highway 36 in Wadsworth, so regardless of your financial situation, Siltahar Motors will get you the car you deserve at sthmotors.com.
Tell Me Why I'm Wrong Wednesday. We already got one winner. Much to Mark's chagrin.
We do not have one. You can't just arbitrarily. You can't do that.
No, I think there was plenty
of
reason for me to declare that guy a winner.
No.
Plenty of reason.
You just got upset because the initial caveat that was doled out on draft night still remains. They always can fall through.
No, because he got you to admit something you have not said at all.
What's that?
Is the possibility that it might not happen with Rodgers. You've been steadfast in saying
there's always Mike, come on, that is
no. You've
Mike,
always said it was going to happen.
There is always there's a reason.
You're slippery. You're good, but
a reason.
Nope.
Always.
We got one. Here's another one. Here's one. I think this is a good one. Mark,
wait. Can we put that up to the texters? Like, I'll trust you guys. If you think
stop sucking up to them.
No, I trust the texters. If you think that,
you know how many times
Mike
you told me off the air how much you hate the texters.
If you think that Mike, there's the wedge drive. You guys see how it works. If you guys think that Mike is right in just arbitrarily assigning a guy a winner, because I know you texters have pride and you want to earn it. You want to truly earn it.
Now you're trying to lead.
But if you,
I agree with Mike.
Yeah, if you just think that, Mike can just arbitrarily award anybody, then you vote for Mike.
Why do you have to put all these qualifiers then just say
Mike or Mark?
Yes!
Just go Mike or Mark.
Leave it at that.
Mike or Mark.
Stop with all the qualifiers.
Just text them in there, and then we'll find out who has at the end of the day, we'll count them up here in the next break or whatever, and we'll declare me the winner.
Here we go. Mark, except for waiting on Aaron Rodgers, you don't have a plan for quarterback. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I don't have a plan for quarterback?
Other than Aaron Rodgers.
Baloney.
What is it?
Oh, I got all kinds of plans.
Let's hear one of them.
Okay, how about Deshaun Watson when he becomes available? Is that a plan? Would that be doable for you? Would you like that?
Yeah, but right now, as far as I'm concerned, he's persona non grata. So you got to come up with something else.
I've got to come up with something else. All right. What about if Russell Wilson has a little bit of a tete-a-tete again with the Seattle Seahawks?
Unlimited.
And then ultimately, here's my other plan. My other plan is you evaluate the quarterbacks every single year in the draft. And if there is a guy that you think is the next guy that you want to develop, that you believe in, you know what you do? You go get that guy. You move up. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people go, well, now if we're 9-8, we're just going to ruin our draft position. G.
By the way, I love it when you do that voice.
Right. I mean, hey, listen. The Chiefs loved the guy, and moved from 24, 26 to 10. It can be done. Deal with it. So do I have a plan? You're damn right I have a plan. My plan isn't the DMAC theory of every quarterback who's possibly could be drafted is going to be great and basically lift your franchise. That's not my plan.
This is from JP from Bowles Bluff. This team will not return to dominance until they have an ownership change. Mark, tell me why I'm wrong.
All right, so I believe the ownership thing is important, but if you build a good enough roster, this team has a chance to be really good, to be a playoff team. That's dominance to me. Consistently being in the playoffs and having an opportunity when you get there to contend. And I look at the way they have built this roster right now. And like, hey, listen, there is depth that we haven't had before. Malik Reed can play. So if Bradley Chubb, if you move on from Bradley Chubb, if Von Miller decides to retire or move on, you've got Malik Reed. I think Jonathan Cooper is a steal. I think he can play. You can see the depth that is being developed right now, special teams wise. You see the depth in the backfield with Boone when he comes back to health. Javonte Williams, what they've done there. You see the depth in the wide receiving core with guys who, you know, have a lot of talent, have got to grow as football players in Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler, but have a wealth of talent. Cortland Sutton. You see the depth in the tight end room with Saubert, with Noah Fant, with Albert O. What was his, how do we say that again?
Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam.
No.
Okwuegbunam.
I don't like the way
Ben.
Don't like the.
Go, Ben, play him saying it.
Okwuegbunam.
Oh, he's going to go get it for me. I need to hear him say it, not you say it.
Okwuegbunam.
No, not Okwuegbunam. Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam?
Yeah, Okwuegbunam.
You've been working all week on that, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
You've been out there tossing around dirt, moving rocks, crushing irrigation pipes, and the whole time you're Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam.
Yeah, it's pronounced Okwuegbunam. It's all together, Okwuegbunam.
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 That's incredibly helpful, by the way.
Yeah.
Okwu.
Not Okwu. Okwu.
Yeah, it's pronounced Okwuegbunam.
One more time, Benny. Let the second one go.
It's all together, Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam. He just said
Okwuegbunam.
and then the second time he says it, and then he says it.
Yeah, it's pronounced Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam. Then
Not
he says
Oku,
it. But
not
then he says,
Oku.
yeah, but then he says it again. He says
He's not a
Oku.
dove.
Listen.
Coo.
Listen how he
Yeah, it's pronounced Okwuegbunam. It's all together, Okwuegbunam.
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 That's incredibly helpful, by the way.
Thanks, D-Mac.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, Okwuegbunam, it's so helpful. Man, your shoulders look really tight. Why don't you let me crawl on your back and rub your neck? That's incredibly helpful. Man, I really like you.
Okay.
Man, I've solved a lot of things today.
Haven't you?
And nobody has won.
Yes, I have one.
No. Well, see you on the text line. I trust the texters.
Four down territory coming up. The NFL executives have spoken on who's going to win the top awards this year in the NFL. A Bronco cops an award. We'll tell you who and what next.
I want me some glory hole.
This is four down territory.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Pound it, launch it, and bring the funk.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
You just don't flop it out there and expect to perform like that.
On Sports Radio 104.3, The Fan. First down.
Is it for what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
We'll get to the winner of Mike or Mark, who is right, according to the texters. All right, that in a second. I've tallied up the votes.
Did you now?
Yeah. First of all, though, Bradley Chubb arrested for a failure to appear warrant stemming from some relatively minor traffic violations. Overall, a big scheme of things, is this a big deal?
No, this doesn't mean anything. And he got arrested. By the way, I talked about this earlier. Leadership. He got arrested on a Tuesday on the day off. You're going to get arrested on a Tuesday. Day off. Pay your fines. Right back to work. Yeah, I mean,
that's leadership.
Had
he done all this on a Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, right.
That's poor leadership.
Yeah, that's poor leadership. It's not a big deal. I mean, this kind of thing happens. Yeah, take care of your responsibilities, quit speed. That's all. Come on, am I going to make a big deal of it? Like all of a sudden, Josh Allen hasn't been arrested for speeding. Come on. Josh Allen, I'm sure, has never sped.
You know who else hasn't been arrested? Josh Rosen either. So.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold hasn't been arrested.
Exactly. Next, in 4-down territory.
Second down.
I just think Teddy's obviously the quarterback of the team. He has good leadership qualities, got good people skills. I think guys kind of gravitate towards him, and I think that's reflective in him getting elected.
There he is, Fangio.
I'm glad we had clarification, by the way.
About what?
Obviously, Teddy's the quarterback of the team. Because there was a minute there that I was like, who's the quarterback of our team? Again? Oh, Teddy, that's right.
Who were the two guys that were competing for him?
Right. Who are the guys that we've talked incessantly about for
months and months and months? Yeah. So the Broncos came out with their game week depth chart.
Okay.
And I ask you this question. Which guy who is currently listed as a starter runs the risk of being supplanted by the guy behind him? I'll just throw out a few examples. Is it Bobby Massey at right tackle?
I think
beaten by Cam Fleming?
I think they like Calvin Anderson. Right?
Calvin Anderson is listed as a backup to Garrett Bowles.
It doesn't matter. He's a swing guy. He's a swing guy. So
it wouldn't surprise you if you saw Calvin Anderson at some point in there, right?
I think they really like Calvin Anderson.
How about Noah Fant and Albert Okwuegbunam?
Oh, my gosh. Okwuegbunam?
Yeah, it's pronounced Okwuegbunam.
Okwuegbunam?
Okwuegbunam.
Not Koo. Why are you all why are you a dove whisperer?
It's like I used to watch Solid Gold with Marilyn McCoo. So I like
to get up early.
Albert Okwuegbunam.
When I've been to vacation in Hawaii, get up early and the doves are just cooing.
Okwuegbunam. You got that one, Benny. All right, so how about Noah Fant?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I like Alvaro.
How about Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams?
What about Justin Cernad over Josie Jewell?
Okay.
I think I think when you're dealing with that position and the speed that position has changed. The middle linebacker position there's not a thumper anymore. You want 3 down guys that can flat out run and cover man. I think there's a question there. So
Pat Surtain over Kyle Fuller or Ronald Darby?
I think Pat Surtain is so valuable on the inside and playing nickel and dime that they're not going to move him to the outside. It's just my gut, but
Next in 4-down territory.
3rd down.
Rippon's going to air it out downfield. One-on-one coverage, and this one is caught. And backing into the end zone is Jerry Jeudy with his first touchdown catch in his rookie season. Wow.
Say hello to your biggest breakout player of this upcoming NFL season. This according to a group of NFL executives, coaches, scouts, who are asked by ESPN to vote on some of the top awards or honors of the season, and Jerry Jeudy won biggest breakout player over guys like Miles Sanders of the Eagles, Henry Ruggs of the Raiders, and Laviska Shenault of the Jaguars.
I like it. I think Jerry Jeudy, I think the great thing about Jerry Jeudy is he was always considered a really explosive route runner, but his understanding of the offense, his understanding of, what targeted guy you are. The thing that concerns me about that is, are you still running routes even when you're 3rd in the progression, like you would be if you're number 1 in the progression? And DBs read that stuff. They see a guy that slacks off the ball. They see a guy that doesn't get the proper depth. They see a guy when he's not the number 1 target who doesn't run as precise or crisp routes. And I hope that's the maturation process this offseason that Jerry Jeudy has gone through.
Next in 4-down territory.
Fourth down.
He was a really good mentor to me, and I know we'll stay in touch. Ever since I came here, he knew I was here to help him, and he was here to help me, so I never felt like we were butting heads or anything like that. And obviously Cam's a great guy and a great player, and hopefully he lands somewhere, and I definitely learned a lot from him, and I'm excited just to keep learning from Brian and everybody in the quarterback room.
There he is, Mac Jones, who will forever be known here as Squishy Mac, saying that he's not surprised that he won the quarterback job in New England. And boy, has he quickly become ESPN's new darling. I mean, for weeks it was Justin Fields. Justin Fields is so August 2021.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is all about Mac Jones right now. You think Mac Jones will succeed right from the get-go? Or will there be some struggles starting as early against a tough Dolphins team this week?
I think there's always going to be struggles, Mike. I mean, as a young player, the way you learn in this league is through the mistakes. You know, it's the guys who don't get multiple opportunities are the guys who keep making the same mistake over and over again. And I think Mac Jones, that's not who he is. I think he won't make the same mistake over and over again. But you're going to make some mistakes. And remember, even going back to the third preseason game, which I watched the other night, because they were playing the Giants, early in that game when he first came in, his first couple drives, it wasn't good. And then all of a sudden the Giants removed all their starting defense, and then he started lighting them up. But there was a lot of things I liked about Mac Jones watching him. Decisions, quickness with his reads, stepping up in the pocket, basically avoiding the outside rush and throwing a dime even when you get hit in the chin. Like
throwing receivers open, that kind of thing.
You can't be, as a quarterback, you know, people say he doesn't even see it. No, you got to see the rush. You got to understand or feel the rush. You just have to slide to avoid it, to create room to throw it. And then you got to throw an accurate ball when you know you're going to get a mouthful of Rydell.
That'll do it for Four Down Territory, our tour around the NFL. Bring that to you each and every morning at 7:30. Up next, Troy Rink will join us. We'll also get more Tell Me Why I'm Wrongs and a Save the Button update on the eve of Deadline Day. That's next. All right, let's welcome in Troy Rink, our Denver 7 Broncos insider, presented by ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Hello, Troy.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great. We've said no big deal with the Bradley Chubb thing, but any insight into that? And is it a big deal? Are we wrong? Is it a big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal. It's just embarrassing. I mean, we've all had issues with, at least I have, with traffic violations through my life. I mean, you got to pay your tickets, got to have updated tags. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. And I think anyone that's received a court date, you can't just miss a court date. You got to send someone to represent you. You got to appear. And so it's embarrassing. I think Bradley will learn from it. I think Vaughn went through something like this early in his career as well, and I'm not excusing it. But I don't sense it being a big deal. When I talked to the Broncos yesterday, it's more embarrassing for Bradley than anything else.
We played a little game a few minutes ago with the Broncos releasing their depth chart. Which starter you think could be in the biggest danger of being supplanted by the guy behind him? Anybody jump out at you?
Well, at right tackle, Bobby Massey's got to play well. He's got to play well early, and the Giants' defense is stout. So you got to keep an eye on that. They're not going to have the patience, with Teddy Bridgewater and the way they want to run their offense. If one link is weak in the offensive line, I don't know how much patience you can show. And Massey didn't win the job by a lot. It's not unlike the quarterback battle. Quarterback's certainly on that list. I would give Teddy at least the first 2 games before I would consider a change. I hear most people talk like three bad games. I mean, obviously, that could play into it, but with 2, if they lose at the Giants, let's say 20-13, I think he could very well, depending on his statistics and how he played, could be playing for his job at Jacksonville. Because, again, it's just look at their schedule. They cannot start 1-2, 0-3. They would be done. So those are positions. And Pat Surtain, how will he be used? I mean, he's not going to be listed as a starter, but he's going to get starter snaps. I mean, he's going to end up playing 70-75% of the snaps. And Bryce Callahan doesn't show he's healthy or needs more time off. I mean, Surtain's going to continue to get more snaps.
Troy, what about the middle linebacker position? I know Josie Jewell had some injuries during this preseason. He was out a bit. Sternad played a bunch. You see a possible replacement there for the speed and athleticism of a Sternad over Josie Jewell?
No, I mean, I know where you're going with it, and you're right. They could use a little more athleticism, certainly in pass coverage, and at times, Josie Jewell and Alexander Johnson have been pretty good against the run. At times it's a little overstated because, you hit a guy and he ends up with 4 or 5 yards and you get a tackle. I mean, you got to hit him and stop him and or push him back. But the issue with Jewell is he calls the defense. So you're not just, replacing a rando guy with another guy. I mean, you'd have to trust that then Alexander Johnson would have to call the defense. And they didn't seem to trust that last year. So I would say Jewell in that way is protected. Sternad still has to show in the running game that he can be physical. He's built more like a safety than a linebacker. He's put on weight, but it's something that bears watching. And we talked about where they could use in the dime, use Surtain at linebacker. But let's be honest, and Mark, you know this, it's got to be a certain down and distance, because if it's 3rd and 4 and you've got a cornerback playing linebacker, they're going to run the football. They're just going to audible out of it and run at the cornerback. So it's not like Surtain's the obvious answer. Oh, he's going to cover tight ends on every dime package. Well, that's not exactly the truth, because it's depending on down and distance, the team will just run at the guy that's, playing cornerback and middle linebacker. So they've got to be careful, but it does give them another option inside.
Troy, last one. This is the last time we'll speak with you until Sunday's pregame show. So we'll give you the chance at the last minute to change your mind. But as we sit here right now, do the Broncos win on Sunday?
Before the season, I would have told you no. I didn't think they could win on the road back east. They're 9-13 in road openers. All that said, based on the team I saw in preseason, not the score, but just based on the team I saw, the chemistry that's built, the sense of urgency that seems to finally exist, and the doubt that Saquon Barkley was, going to be able to go 20, 25 carries. Because of those elements, I think they're going to win a close, low-scoring game. And it might look a lot like, the scores of last few years with the low scoring, but I see them winning like 23-17 type game. And that's, I don't think it's a must win, but man, would that change the window on how you view this team with Jacksonville and the Jets sitting there on the schedule. The chance to get off to a good start would be right in front of them. But I have them, as of now, no injuries, nothing changing, winning a close game. In large part, the swing vote is, I don't know what Barkley's workload is going to be, and if Barkley's not really good for the Giants, I don't think their offense can beat the Broncos defense.
Yeah, no, I like it, Troy. I think you're spot on with that. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
You got it, guys. Take care.
And Troy will be part of our pregame show, which will come your way. We're on all morning long Sunday. D-Mac and I back for, what is this? Our 10th year together doing the Broncos pregame show. So we'll be on from noon right up until kickoff. We'll hand it off to Mark Schlereth for the call. Broncos and Giants.
Nice.
So we asked the people.
Oh, yeah, we did ask the people.
And the people are never wrong.
I gave the people credit. I said, I will accept whatever comes my way from the people.
So we had a texter who, in Tell Me Why I'm Wrong, got you to admit that Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos is not a slam dunk, which that's all I've heard this summer, is that it is going to happen. Now, all of a sudden, you're qualifying and saying, it may happen.
I did not all of a sudden. I told you on draft night.
I know that you said draft night, but then after draft night, you said it may happen on draft night. But as far as happening in 2022, you have said it will happen. Now you're backing off that.
I didn't say it will. I think it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. There's always all these trades. I mean, there's two sides that have to come to an agreement, and those things do occasionally fall through, but I believe it's going to happen.
Well, we put the vote up to the listeners. The listeners spoke and resoundingly favored me. 35-15. Wasn't even close. And many of them threw in little comments as well. Mark, just take the L and shut up. Rich says the lie detector test determined the fat boy loses.
Well, now, whoa. That one's for me.
No.
The fat boy.
No, you've been the fat boy. Now, that may change here. We'll find out in a second. But you've been the fat boy. You've admitted you're fat Chris Hemsworth.
I am, but fat Chris Hemsworth is still, still fine. He's still handsome. Right?
The island is eroding into the sea. Grab your floaties, Mark.
No. Well, see, I kind of
Mark struggles to admit when he's wrong.
It's not. This has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. But I'll accept it. I'll give the listener the W.
All right.
I'll give the listener the W because, you guys are a bunch of whiny little, mice.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You have been a fat boy.
Yes.
But maybe you're not a fat boy anymore. With that, let's get a Save the Button update.
It's time for Save the Button.
Please do not make me press this button.
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop button!
Every day we check in with Mark Schlereth to see if he's one step closer to fitting into his game day suit.
When my neck is eating my chin.
Will Stink lose enough LBs before kickoff?
I like to think of myself as fat Chris Hemsworth.
Let's find out. Diabetes. Right now.
I can't tell you. I think the best thing to come out of this, I can't tell you how many times I've just randomly, without any rhyme or reason, just throughout the course of a day, just gone, not the gumdrop buttons.
Yeah. Not the buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons.
Oh, so good. Okay.
All right.
Tomorrow is weigh-in day.
Tomorrow's official.
Tomorrow's the deadline. Your goal, you started at about 259 in heavy change. So we'll call it 260. You started at 260.
I started at 260, but I've been seriously, when we started this, I had already started trying to lose weight. So I hovered at 265 all off season.
All right.
As high as 269.
But we started this at 260.
260 we started.
The goal was to get down to 243 by tomorrow's deadline so that when you go on television on Sunday and they do the cut up to the booth in the third quarter, oh, that poor button doesn't look like it's just getting abused. So where are we at today? 243 is the goal.
Today, and I actually took a picture, evidence from this morning.
Let me see it. Wow. On
the, speaking of buttons,
on the
button. 243.0 this morning. Now, I mean, the official day was tomorrow.
Right. So tomorrow, picture, and it has to be time stamped.
I don't know how to time stamp it. How would you?
Penny, you're the millennial. How do we do that?
I mean, does this time stamp?
Can you do that?
There?
Can you do that for us?
Let's see.
Anyway.
Oh, today, here it is. It's on the top of the thing. Today at 4:38.
Okay.
So what about yesterday at 2:21? So it automatically.
Okay. Good. We're done. We're good then.
We're good.
Okay.
All right.
So here's the question.
Yes.
You made your weight. Do you just maintain today, or do you now? You know, they always say, don't take your foot off the gas. Are you not going to take your foot off the button? And are you looking to go lower?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely. I wanted to be 40, like between 40 and I would like to be coming at 41 and change. I'd like to kind of hover and stay all season right between 38 and 43.
Because here's the thing. You could win and still lose. I know. That sounds a little Dilfer-esque right there.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But here's the thing. Much like a wrestler works and works and works to make weight, then once he makes weight, he can go eat whatever he wants.
Yes.
And he can put weight back on.
Correct.
So here's the thing. You could get down to 240. I mean, you're at 243. You could stay there. You get to 242. You could get to 241. You could get to 240 and change by tomorrow morning.
Right.
The problem is, then you travel. Airport food. Then you get to New York. You get your big Fox dinner on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, a little snacking here and there. My concern is game time. You're back up to 247, 248.
No.
And the button is screaming. Help me.
No.
Help me.
No.
Not the gumdrop button.
Yes. That's not how it works. So when I the traveling is not the problem. Traveling, I'm easy with traveling. The Fox Friday night dinner is if I just eschew the bread. So what do I order? A big fat steak with lots of fat and gristle on it.
Yeah, you'll eat all that gristle.
Yeah. And then I have, some asparagus, maybe a salad, mix it in there, some roughage, and I'm good. I'm solid. Traveling, tomorrow I'm busy. I get on the plane. I just go to work. I got stuff spread out all over the place. I'm like a squirrel. Bring a handful of nuts, All
right, well, you're there.
Get a bag of D's.
Not going to fall for that.
Please stop.
But yeah, the traveling is not, it's coming home because my wife has stacks of banana bread, cookies.
Oh,
she's
by the
constantly
way, I meant
baking.
to tell you this.
Yeah.
So my wife made some banana bread. And I went to get some the other night and I just start busting out laughing. Just lost it laughing.
Right.
She's like, what's so funny? And I told your
cat turd in the banana
bread story. And I'm howling while I'm telling it. She thought it was the most disgusting thing she'd ever heard. And now she won't eat any of the banana bread. Because all she could picture is a cat turd in it. Meanwhile, I've eaten banana bread the last 4 nights. It's been delicious.
Yeah. More for you. You know what that is? That's the same principle as ruining one of her favorite shirts in the laundry and then you never being allowed to do laundry again. It's brilliant, Mike. You make banana bread and I'm the only one that gets to partake in the banana bread because I told you the cat turd in the banana bread story. Brilliant.
As soon as I looked at it,
it's funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, this is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Siltahar Motors understands sometimes bad things happen to good people. That includes bankruptcy. If that is you, you can still purchase a car at Siltahar with zero money down in almost all cases. This is a program they've been doing for 25 years. The dealership itself is almost 60. Family-owned business that is proud of their reputation and proud to be a huge part of the Broomfield community. If you file bankruptcy, Siltahar Motors can help. Zero down and no payments for 45 days in almost all cases. Contact Team Zero Down at 720-446-9222 or online at sthmotors.com.